fotocopias sobre um evento histórico encoberto em mistério. Contém imagens de arquivo, reconstituições e dramatizações que convidam os telespectadores a tirar as próprias conclusões. Para os desinformados, este árido terreno, 160 quilômetros ao norte de Las Vegas, pode parecer um simples deserto. Mas estes vales ocultam uma base militar secreta, cujo acesso só é permitido mediante a autorização dos mais altos escalões militares. Conhecido como Área 51, este é um dos locais mais misteriosos da face da Terra.
What they have out in the desert would make George Lucas envious. We have things out there that are literally out of this world.
Há décadas, existe uma estratégia coordenada entre as agências federais para dissimular o que o Exército faz aqui. Até pouco tempo, o governo negava a existência de uma base na Área 51.
Not only did the people not know, the people's representatives didn't know, and the chance for abuses were very great.
O silêncio das autoridades envolvendo a Área 51 deu margem ao surgimento de histórias fantásticas, lendas e rumores.
The hasty cover-ups, the shrouded trucks, the secret flights of cargo planes. This was exactly what you would do if a UFO had crashed and you wanted to keep that secret.
Relatos diretos sobre as atividades ao redor e dentro do perímetro da base são escassos. Os poucos que entraram juraram manter sigilo.
We flew all over the United States. Nobody knew we were there. We didn't tell anybody.
Mas em 1989, um homem fez uma incrível declaração. Ele havia trabalhado na Área 51, fazendo a retroengenharia de uma nave alienígena.
It had an absolute classic flying saucer in there. So like something out of a cartoon or a science fiction movie.
O governo estaria testando discos voadores no deserto de Nevada? Ou todo esse sigilo esconderia um fato mais grave? Conspiração, a Área 51. No sul de Nevada, há uma área de 1.490 quilômetros quadrados fortemente guardada, cujo espaço aéreo é restrito. Os pilotos a chamam de Dreamland, mas a maioria das pessoas a conhece como Área 51, designação recebida da Comissão de Energia Atômica em 1958. O alemão Jörg Arno mantém um site dedicado à pesquisa desta misteriosa região. Ele faz viagens regulares de exploração ao perímetro da base.
This is the famous border of Area 51 right here. We see the warning signs on both sides of the road here. Up on the hill behind me, there's a security vehicle with 2 security guards with binoculars and probably all kinds of other equipment watching us right now.
Desde o final dos anos 50, inúmeros objetos voadores não identificados foram observados nos céus da Área 51. Os moradores já se acostumaram a ouvir relatos sobre este fenômeno inexplicado.
We saw a craft in the sky and we stopped our vehicle and watched it do maneuvers. It was doing zigzags, right, lefts, up. Oh, it was pretty crazy.
Qualquer que seja a atividade na Área 51, o governo a mantém em segredo.
They're authorized to shoot you. If they did, there isn't a law enforcement agency in the world that could go retrieve your body if you were in Area 51. You have no access to get in there.
Mas em 1989, Bob Lazar, morador de Las Vegas, alegou ter penetrado o véu que ocultava estes voos.
If they were United States craft, we wouldn't be going backward trying to find out how they were built if we had built them.
Sua história levou milhares de pessoas a acreditar que algo sobrenatural acontecia no deserto de Nevada.
When Bob Lazar emerged in public with his claims to have worked on reverse-engineered flying saucers, it began to draw UFO fans from around the world. And his legend became critical to the whole emerging folklore of Area 51.
Até hoje, Lazar mantém sua história.
I'm convinced this was an extraterrestrial craft. I verified how the equipment in it worked, and it was a technology that doesn't exist even today.
A história de Bob Lazar, uma nave espacial na Área 51. Na primavera de 1989, Bob Lazar se encontrou com George Knapp, um repórter da emissora de televisão KLAS. Lazar afirmou que não podia mais manter os segredos que guardava.
This was really taking a toll on me. I mean, I was exhausted.
Ele disse ter sido contratado pelo governo federal para trabalhar em uma nave espacial na Área 51. E afirmou que as autoridades fizeram de tudo para impedi-lo de dizer o que sabia.
There was a guy in the car with a gun. He shot at me and went off, and I just thought it was some government guy trying to wipe me out.
Lazar disse ao repórter que queria se proteger de represálias ao revelar sua incrível história. No entanto, ele apareceu em silhueta para ocultar a identidade.
The first interview was really just to state what had happened, what was going on, and in case I suddenly disappeared, all it would do was prove that what I was saying was true.
A história de Lazar começou em 1988, quando, por seus conhecimentos em física e eletrônica, ele foi chamado para uma entrevista na maior empreiteira contratada pelo governo, a AT&T.
I was told there was an opening available for a new exotic field propulsion system, that I would be working in a remote area. It all sounded great to me. It's exactly what I wanted to get into.
Ele foi admitido em dezembro de 1988. No primeiro dia de trabalho, Lazar conheceu um homem chamado Dennis Mariani no escritório de projetos especiais da empresa no Aeroporto Internacional McCarran, em Las Vegas.
Dennis Mariani is kind of a military-looking guy. It always looks you in the eye and very hard-looking. I don't think the guy ever smiled.
Mariani e Lazar foram em um avião particular para uma base militar no deserto de Nevada, 160 quilômetros ao norte de Las Vegas, a Área 51. Logo após o pouso, Mariani submeteu Lazar a um rigoroso procedimento de segurança e o fez assinar um pacto de silêncio.
You basically signed away a lot of your rights. I believe it was called the 10-10 agreement. It was a $10,000 fine, 10-year prison sentence, for divulging any of the information presented to you.
Lazar aceitou as condições que mais tarde o fariam se arrepender. Ele até renunciou ao direito de ser julgado caso revelasse alguma informação da Área 51. Após assinar o pacto, Lazar e Mariani entraram em um ônibus com janelas pretas.
The bus leaves Area 51 and drives, I'm guessing, 10 to 15 miles south on a dirt road. It was kind of exciting because I thought, boy, we're leaving Area 51 in a bus with windows that I can't look out of, this must be really secret, and so I was fascinated.
O ônibus finalmente parou em uma instalação chamada S4. Mariani explicou que o local possuía uma série de hangares ocultos construídos no subsolo.
It's extremely well camouflaged.
Anos depois, um artista gráfico criou um desenho detalhado seguindo os esboços do que Lazar teria visto na instalação S4.
There are hangar doors that are sand textured, and standing back maybe 300 or 400 feet, you really can't see them at all. It pretty much just looks like a continuation of the mountain.
Mariani e Lazar entraram em uma instalação fortemente protegida.
It was very much an oppressive military atmosphere. There was always somebody there on top of you, keeping an eye on you. They were virtually robots. They had no emotions. Not to imply that they were robots, but, you know, they acted like robots.
Lazar teria recebido um cartão de identificação autorizando sua entrada no chamado Departamento de Inteligência Naval dos Estados Unidos. Mariani o levou a uma sala de instrução. Na mesa, havia uma pilha de pastas azuis. Eles permitiram que Lazar analisasse os arquivos sozinho.
Looking through some of the information, it gave direct references to a flying saucer, to an extraterrestrial vehicle. I pretty much discounted that and just kept going on. And I thought, well, boy, this must be part of some security measure. It could be a part of some big psychological test of some sort. So I glanced through everything and digested what I could.
Quando Mariani o levou de volta ao hangar, Lazar alega ter visto algo inacreditável.
We walked into a hangar which was extremely large, and it had an absolute classic flying saucer in there. So like something out of a cartoon or a science fiction movie. It was sitting on its belly on the ground. And I went up and raised my hand to touch the metal on the craft and immediately got disciplined for that.
Lazar presumiu que o objeto fosse uma aeronave experimental projetada para lembrar um objeto extraterrestre.
You know, well, it's got a flying saucer shape. This explains why so many people see flying saucers, because we're trying to make an aircraft that way. So still nothing really hit my mind as far as being alien or anything along those lines.
Mas Lazar percebeu que estava errado quando foi informado sobre suas funções.
The basic aim of what we're doing here is to see if we can duplicate any of this material with substances found on Earth. Or, well, what do you mean with substances found on Earth? And then it began to validate some of what I had read, that this was in fact an alien craft.
Ao examinar a nave, Lazar se convenceu de que sua origem era de fato extraterrestre.
It was obviously made for something smaller. Ideally, about half the height of a human would have no problem walking around in there. Everything is a rounded, curved radius to it. It looks like the entire thing was an injection mold, like made out of plastic or wax.
Lazar foi informado de que o sistema propulsor da nave permitia ao piloto atravessar grandes distâncias instantaneamente ao manipular o tempo e o espaço.
If you have a machine that can create gravity, that makes force fields a reality, that makes time travel possible, all the stuff you read about in science fiction becomes possible if you can manipulate gravity.
Lazar ficou fascinado com as possibilidades. Até aquele momento, ele considerava fantasiosa a ideia de discos voadores.
It actually left me pretty much confused and led to a lot of sleepless nights for a long time. Everything you didn't believe is true.
Todos os domingos, às 23 horas.
But there was enough there to see.
Em dezembro de 1988, Bob Lazar teria sido contratado para trabalhar em uma base militar secreta chamada Área 51, no deserto de Nevada. Sua missão seria estudar uma nave alienígena. A história de Bob Lazar, retroengenharia da nave alienígena. Lazar afirma que há pelo menos 9 espaçonaves ocultas na Área 51.
They were all in hangars and some were not completely assembled, but the sport model, the sleek one, the one that I was allowed in at that one time, was the only one I ever had physical contact with.
A tarefa de Lazar era determinar o que movia o veículo.
This was such an advanced machine that we were looking at. From the fuel to the way it was handled to the energy it puts out, it was completely alien in every way.
Ele apelidou uma das naves de modelo esporte. Ela teria sido testada várias vezes a baixa altitude no início de 1989. O supervisor de Lazar, Dennis, convidou-o para observar uma delas.
The craft lifted off the ground silently with a slight glow on the bottom, which I assumed was a corona discharge, kind of like a St. Elmo's fire from high voltage. Made just a little hissing sound, lifted off the ground and moved over to the left and to the right and sat down. And to me, that was absolutely impressive.
Durante o tempo que passou na Área 51, os chefes fizeram trabalhar em horários irregulares.
I only went out when I was called out there. I could get a call at 9 o'clock at night. Actually, I got a call once at 11:30 at night, and they stated, we would like you down at McCarran Airport by 12:15. How do you tell your wife, you know, you're in bed, you get a call, okay, I gotta go. Well, what is it? Oh, it's my job. I don't know if I'm gonna be coming back until tomorrow.
Àquela altura, Lazar estava na Área 51 havia 4 meses e sentiu que não poderia mais cumprir o pacto de silêncio. Ao entardecer da quarta-feira, 22 de março de 1989, Lazar, a esposa e 3 amigos foram ao perímetro da Área 51 observar o teste de voo de uma nave.
The craft was typically only tested on a Wednesday night because it was the middle of the week, because there was very little travel on the adjacent highways to the test site.
Por volta das 20 horas, o grupo avistou uma luz saindo detrás da montanha.
It came towards us very fast and made abrupt 90-degree turns. And the higher energy level the craft is at, the more it glows.
Os amigos de Lazar ficaram estupefatos com as manobras do objeto.
Nothing can make a 90-degree turn moving at hundreds of miles an hour. And that's what left an impression in everyone's mind.
Segundo Lazar, a nave sobrevoou mais alguns momentos antes de sumir por trás da montanha. Na quarta-feira seguinte, Lazar e seu grupo retornaram ao deserto.
Since we got away with it the first time, we wanted to go back and now actually get pictures of the craft. But, you know, it's like filming a star at night. It's just a blob of light moving around.
Na semana seguinte, o grupo foi outra vez ao local.
Oh, wow.
Mas, dessa vez, eles abusaram da sorte.
The security guys had found us, and it's pitch black out there. And they turned the lights on, and there's just an army of people out there. It was quite incredible.
Os guardas checaram as identidades e anotaram os nomes antes de liberá-los. Quando partiam, Lazar e os amigos foram parados pelo delegado do condado de Lincoln e detidos para interrogatório. No dia seguinte, Dennis Mariani, os agentes de segurança da Área 51, o teriam ameaçado.
One of the first things they said was, you know, when we trusted you with this information, we didn't mean, you know, intend for you to tell everyone you know about it. The guard held an M16 directly in my face and, you know, wanted to impress upon me how serious they were about it.
De acordo com Lazar, ele foi liberado e demitido do trabalho na Área 51. Desde então, tem sido vítima de uma incessante campanha de intimidação.
I was driving down Charleston Boulevard in Las Vegas, and as I came to the freeway on-ramp, there was a car that kept trying to get alongside of me. I heard a gunshot, and it caught my attention, and there was a guy in the car with a gun. I went straight, went off the end, and stopped in the dirt. I was really just paralyzed in the car. I was holding the steering wheel, and I thought he was coming up alongside of me, and there was just nothing I can do.
Foi nesse dia que Lazar decidiu revelar o que sabia em uma entrevista com o repórter George Knapp, da TV KLAS. Em maio de 1989, ele apareceu em silhueta no noticiário local das 17 horas.
I did go on the air and basically say some of the stuff that I had seen. Right after the interview, I get a call from Dennis Mariani at home, and he said, "Do you have any idea what we're going to do to you now?" And I said, "No, what?" And he hung up the phone.
6 meses depois, Lazar concedeu outra entrevista à mesma emissora. Desta vez, revelou sua identidade. Depois, apareceu em inúmeros programas de televisão e rádio e fez até um vídeo com suas experiências.
I went into much greater detail, explained what was going on, who I worked with, where the things were. You know, just pretty much got it all on the record.
They led me to believe it was a field.
The TV reports that he did brought a lot of attention to the area and to him.
In secret that we were working.
They were picked up nationally by other media, and they helped establish the whole mythology of Area 51 in the national consciousness.
Logo depois, pessoas de todo o país se dirigiram para o deserto de Nevada, esperando avistar as misteriosas luzes das naves alienígenas.
I watched a craft with my niece one night for 20 minutes do really, really strange maneuvers. I know there's strange activity that goes on out here.
Esta noite, começa a semana.
It was actually the second time when I saw the craft, when I got to enter it.
Em novembro de 1989, Bob Lazar fez uma revelação surpreendente no noticiário de uma emissora de televisão de Las Vegas. Ele teria trabalhado em uma nave alienígena em uma base militar ultra secreta chamada Área 51. Lazar não foi o primeiro a descrever os extraordinários eventos ocorridos nessas instalações, cuja existência o governo nega. Rumores sobre aparições de OVNIs naquela região existem há décadas. Mas Lazar foi o primeiro a afirmar que trabalhou em uma nave alienígena. Ele parece ter poucos motivos para mentir.
I don't know anything about aliens or abductions or crop circles or any of that, but I do know this craft came from somewhere else.
Lazar looked like he could have been what he said, which was a sort of nerdy engineer who worked for government high-tech research programs.
The materials that were in use, completely alien to us, pardon the...
And he seemed to be radiating this sense of conviction.
Almost all UFO stories can usually tell in about 5 seconds that the person is nuts. What was interesting in Lazar, really, it was a compellingly well-told story.
No mundo dos que acreditam em OVNIs, Lazar se tornou uma sensação.
Bob's coming out, so to speak, just lit a fire under every UFO nut and enthusiast in the world. I mean, there were busloads of people coming in there.
Na divisa com a Área 51, a cidade de Rachel, Nevada, tornou-se o ponto de partida para os curiosos.
Rachel is an obscure little community in the middle of absolute nowhere. Really became the center of the universe for people interested in Area 51 and in UFOs.
Everybody in the country and the world right now knows about what's going on out here.
Os aficionados por OVNIs não são os únicos que peregrinam para observar os céus desse deserto. Fãs da aviação, inclusive um grupo chamado Interceptadores, também ficaram intrigados com a história de Lazar. Jim Goodall é membro dos Interceptadores e desde 1987 é um observador regular dos céus da Área 51.
My obsession has been classified aircraft programs. It's that first glimpse of something you've never seen or the public has never seen. That's what's exciting about going out here in the desert. And you want to be the first person to get a high quality image.
Enquanto alguns atribuem as misteriosas luzes nos céus a visitantes extraterrestres,
a bright object is being spotted right there.
Os interceptadores alegam que a Área 51 é realmente uma base de testes ultra secreta para aeronaves militares. Eles apontam fatos e evidências fotográficas para fundamentar a afirmação.
This particular disc appeared to be in excellent condition.
Mesmo assim, alguns deles, incluindo Goodall, consideraram a história de Lazar verossímil.
I'm a technology person. I'm a hardware person. I'm not a UFO nut. I believe Bob Lazar because Bob Lazar, told a believable story and has never altered it.
Goodall foi persuadido em parte pelo que parece ser uma prova concreta de que Lazar trabalhou para os militares, a Declaração de Imposto de Renda de 1988 a 1989. Lazar mostra sua guia de imposto de renda preenchida pelo Departamento de Inteligência Naval. No entanto, este departamento é desconhecido. Em 1990, durante a Operação Escudo no Deserto, Goodall trabalhava em Washington, na Guarda Aérea Nacional de Minnesota. Ele decidiu checar a autenticidade da guia do imposto de renda no escritório de investigação da Marinha, no Pentágono.
I went into the Department of Naval Investigation in the Pentagon. And I said, I'd like a verification of where this location is. It's a classified zip code. And the Navy officer said, just a minute. And made a phone call. He said, the Admiral would like to see you. So I go into the Admiral's office, and he said, Sergeant, if you ever come in this office again with something like this, I'll have you court-martialed. Now get out of my office and get out of there now. If his W-2 was phony, why did this Admiral have a hissy fit over it?
Os que creem em Lazar alegam que o chamado Departamento de Inteligência Naval é uma organização secreta que visa manter o sigilo da Área 51. Como tal, sua existência foi ocultada do público e até do Congresso americano. Mas, apesar do apoio de pessoas como Jim Goodall, os críticos acreditam que Bob Lazar esteja mantendo uma farsa, fundamentados na ausência de provas que corroborem sua história.
Talks about what kind of UFOs he saw inside and so forth. How can you react to that? I just try to think about, for what he tells us that we can verify, and I just haven't found anything.
Os céticos investigaram outras alegações de Lazar.
He worked there for less than 40 hours, and this is according to his own statements. In this one work week, he found the fuel that propels these aircraft or these flying saucers. Now that's a pretty amazing discovery for your first work week.
Stanton Friedman, físico formado na Universidade de Chicago, checou o histórico educacional de Lazar.
He supposedly had a master's in physics from MIT and another one in electronics from Caltech. Okay, I check MIT, they never heard of him. I checked Caltech, they never heard of him. I checked his high school. Turned out he graduated in the bottom third of his high school class.
Mais do que isso, a empreiteira AG&G, onde Lazar alega ter sido entrevistado para o emprego na Área 51, não tem nenhum registro dele.
So, right away you have a problem with a guy who has a background that doesn't match up to what he claims and can't demonstrate that he worked where he says he worked. So, while you may not reject his claims out of hand, you've got to look at them with more suspicion.
Electrical energy is transmitted essentially without wires, and
He's a clever guy, he sounds very good, he comes across very well. People want to believe him. He's a con man.
Enquanto alguns consideram Lazar uma fraude, outros acreditam que seu comportamento tem um motivo mais sinistro. Ele seria um agente do governo cuja missão era manter o público confuso sobre a Área 51.
One had to question whether Lazar was sure who he was. Perhaps he was serving as a disinformation agent unwillingly. There were those who believed that he had been in some way brainwashed or even drugged.
Mas para os seguidores de Lazar, o silêncio do governo é revelador.
If he hadn't been involved with these people, they could say he's a phony. That ended Bob Lazar's career as a spokesperson for UFOs and reverse engineering and propulsion systems. No one ever did that.
Alguns partidários da ideia de conspiração acreditam que o governo apoia a história de Lazar e o mito sobre as aparições na tentativa de encobrir o que realmente ocorre na Área 51.
There seemed to be a good strength to the theory that they were generating a lot of noise to disguise the real signal, which was experiments with advanced aircraft, and that Lazar was the most intense piece of noise they were delivering.
Eles vieram em paz ou querem nos destruir?
Generally referred to as a flying saucer.
No início dos anos 90, após a declaração de Bob Lazar sobre a existência de naves alienígenas na Área 51, a base altamente protegida atraiu muitos turistas.
There were bus tours going out there, so that pretty much did it. That put it on the map.
A segurança foi reforçada para manter os curiosos afastados. Mas alguns dizem que o governo utiliza a história de Lazar em proveito próprio.
In that case, if somebody actually saw a test flight and saw something they weren't supposed to see and they talk about it, they are just dealt with by the public as another UFO nut who has seen a UFO flying.
A despeito dos testemunhos e fotos da Área 51 que circularam livremente pela internet, o governo continuava a negar a existência da base.
It'd be like going out and having a Goodyear blimp out in the parking lot and someone tell you, there's no blimp out there. You know darn well there's one. Until someone official says, yes, this is Area 51, it doesn't exist. And that's our government.
Em 1995, os limites da instalação foram expandidos, proibindo os curiosos de ver, inclusive, a base.
Any sign that says that we will shoot you if you trespass into here, well, why is that? What's the reason for it?
I'm an American taxpayer. That's my stuff they're flying out there. I help pay for it. It's we the people, it's not us the government. That's been my philosophy from the very beginning. If they're flying it over public land, I have every right to photograph and see it.
You can't blame the government for wanting to conceal what's going on there, but you can't blame the public for wondering what's going on there.
Mas há pessoas que sabem exatamente o que acontece na Área 51. São homens que podem provar que lá trabalharam. Eles viram coisas que o governo não quer tornar públicas, mas nada que seja de outro planeta. Área 51, local de teste.
Supposedly, extraterrestrial something's happened over there. I know nothing about that. I just read about it. Certainly didn't have any of that there when I was there. I was all over that base.
Frank Murray pilotou a aeronave secreta espiã A-12 na Área 51. Ele afirma que a base desempenhou um papel fundamental na pesquisa militar americana durante a Guerra Fria.
The base really got started in about 54 when Lockheed needed a place to test and develop the U-2 airplane, the first spy plane.
No início dos anos 60, o A-12 foi desenvolvido para substituir o U-2. A CIA encomendou este jato de reconhecimento supersônico capaz de alcançar velocidade superior a Mach 3 e voar a 27 mil metros de altitude. Frank e outros testaram o A-12 na Área 51.
We flew all over the United States with the airplane. Nobody knew we were there. We didn't tell anybody. There was no need to.
Agora, Murray e o ex-operador de rádio T.D. Burns podem contar suas experiências. Os projetos secretos foram revelados pelo governo nos anos 90. Burns reconhece que seu acesso à base era limitado.
There was something going on that we did not have a need to know. They'd herd everybody on the base into the mess hall and pulled the blackout curtains. And they'd have guards on them, and we'd stay in there 2 or 3 hours, or whatever the time period was required for whatever they were doing outdoors to wrap up.
Para os homens designados à Área 51, o segredo fazia parte de cada aspecto da vida profissional e se estendia também às famílias.
Tell them nothing. Tell them just on a classified project, you can't talk about it. And they never did know until the whole thing was over.
Murray e Barnes disseram não ter visto naves alienígenas na Área 51, mas observaram colegas servindo à nação em programas tão secretos que a maioria dos americanos nunca soube de seus atos heróicos.
We lost a lot of pilots, and I do not recall ever hearing a test pilot panic. As they hit the ground, they were still giving us scientific data. They're so trained.
Quando Barnes e Murray partiram, outras pessoas testaram novas tecnologias, como o bombardeiro Stealth F-117 no final dos anos 70. Alguns dizem que ele pode ter sido o verdadeiro motivo das aparições na Área 51.
The first time you see an F-117 head-on, it looks like a flying saucer.
Se o F-117 originou rumores sobre as naves alienígenas no deserto de Nevada, o fato deve ter agradado as autoridades militares.
Why give it away by saying, oh, there's another military test going on of the high-altitude aircraft? Much better to dismiss it all as just being so much UFO nonsense.
O que os militares vêm desenvolvendo na Área 51 desde o F-117, ninguém sabe. Após a tragédia de 11 de setembro, a Área 51 está mais impenetrável do que nunca. Mas é evidente que a base ainda está ativa.
Gotta be. The runway is now 25,000 feet long, and it's 2 or 3 times bigger than when I was there.
For all I know, they're building systems to prevent an invasion of alien beings. You don't know. The technology doesn't sit still. So, what are they up to?
Jim Goodall afirma ter feito essa pergunta a Ben Rich, vice-presidente da empresa Lockheed na época.
And he said, Jim, we have things out in the desert that are 50 years beyond what you can comprehend. If you've seen it on Star Trek or Star Wars or whatever science fiction movie you've seen, we've been there, done that. I said, can you expand upon that? He said, nope.
Apesar dos esforços para encobrir as atividades na Área 51, as autoridades foram forçadas a reconhecer publicamente a existência da base pela primeira vez devido a um processo contra o governo em 1994. Alegações de que produtos químicos perigosos estariam sendo queimados no local levaram os críticos a afirmar que o sigilo sobre as operações da base estava colocando a população em risco.
The whole existence of a toxic waste dump in Area 51 is a perfect metaphor for the toxicity of excessive secrecy and the dangers of secrecy. And secrecy, like any powerful chemical, is very useful stuff and it's also very dangerous stuff.
Até 1994, o governo se recusava a admitir a existência da base ultra-secreta conhecida como Área 51. Mas, em agosto daquele ano, uma ação impetrada por ex-funcionários forçou o Departamento de Defesa a mudar esta política. Os funcionários alegaram ter sido obrigados a queimar produtos tóxicos do programa caça Stealth em valas abertas, o que provocou doenças sérias e, em alguns casos, a morte.
When they went to court, the government used every measure at its disposal to shut down the whole story.
Os advogados do governo sustentaram que a revelação de qualquer informação sobre o caso ameaçaria a segurança nacional, mas os críticos acreditavam que as medidas de segurança haviam ido longe demais.
Here's a situation that has nothing directly to do, you'd say, with secrecy, with Black Project aircraft and so forth. Not only has the government not taken responsibility, they've basically just quashed the case and will not release any information about what's going on there.
Um ano depois, o governo interrompeu o processo, mas o caso forçou o Pentágono a admitir que há uma base militar ativa perto de Groom Lake, finalmente reconhecendo a existência da Área 51.
It just forced their hand. There was a point at which they, yes, we acknowledge that there is a facility here, and they wouldn't say any more than that, but they, at least that was a change from not even acknowledging it was there.
Aqueles que buscavam a verdade sobre a Área 51 começaram a fazer perguntas. Entre elas, como o governo sustentou uma base inexistente por quase 4 décadas? A resposta está no chamado Orçamento Negro.
The black budget is what's used to fund things like Area 51 or Dreamland because you don't want to reveal the specific details of what is being done.
If you spent $1 billion or a couple $1 billion on a program and it failed, if it was a white program, you'd have people jumping all over you. If it's a black program, no one knows.
People saw Area 51 as a symbol of the abuses of some of our military decision-making. And there was a lot of concern that, again, secrecy had become excessive, that not only did the people not know, the people's representatives didn't know. And the chance for abuses were very great.
Ativistas como Jorg Arnum consideraram-se cães de guarda do povo determinados a limitar as chances de tal abuso ocorrer.
What we're trying to accomplish is keeping the powers somewhat honest in not abusing this secrecy.
Ao cobrar honestidade do governo, Arnum se envolveu em vários confrontos. Em fevereiro de 2003, relatou em seu website que o governo estava utilizando sensores ilegais em terras públicas ao redor da base. 4 meses depois, ele teria recebido um telefonema ameaçador do FBI.
And they made it very clear that it was very serious, that bad things would happen to me if I wouldn't stop.
Entretanto, ele se recusou a deixar de observar as atividades no local. Bob Lazar sustenta sua incrível história de que o governo oculta espaçonaves alienígenas na Área 51.
We can't prove things one way or the other. He can't prove what he says he saw. I can't prove he didn't see it.
Lazar afirma que o governo fez o possível para abafar a história e desacreditá-lo, inclusive eliminando seu nome de todos os empregos anteriores e do histórico acadêmico.
There was a concerted effort to eliminate me paperwork-wise, eliminate my background and everything else I did. And it just begins to sound like a conspiracy movie. Maybe things really are like that, but I don't know who pulls the strings. I don't know who even wrote my paycheck.
Lazar afirma que continua tentando provar suas alegações.
It is something I'm going to pursue. I have people that can verify everything. No ifs, ands, or buts. And I can't wait to prove it all.
Até hoje, Lazar ainda não mostrou essas provas. O History Channel solicitou à Força Aérea uma entrevista sobre a Área 51, mas o pedido foi indeferido. A Força Aérea declarou que todas as operações dessa base são secretas. Todos os anos, desde o processo de 1994, o presidente dos Estados Unidos renova a classificação da Área 51 de ultra-secreta e assim torna inevitáveis as críticas e especulações sobre o assunto.
Certainly there are things there that have to be kept secret, but the idea of a total blackout of a certain place frightens a lot of citizens.
Para muitos, a dúvida permanece. A Área 51 representa inovações em engenharia aeronáutica? Ou será que a fonte de sua tecnologia inovadora vem do espaço?
So as the years go on, we'll find out what some of these are. It's what makes the place of increasing and constant interest. You never know what might come out of there.
You know, it's the age-old question. We all want to know where we came from and what we're doing here. You know, some people view this almost as a religion, that if there is another life form out there running around, it's probably been out here longer than we are. Maybe Area 51 has answers to some of those questions.
Este programa apresentou teorias sobre um evento histórico encoberto em mistério. Exibiu imagens de arquivo, reconstituições e dramatizações que convidam os telespectadores a tirar as próprias conclusões.
Esta